Hey everyone, Roxbox90 here with some more thorough spoilers. I know, right? It's kind of crazy, but we have a couple more beaming down from the mothership, and one of them is a mythic, so we'll start with that one. Master of Waves, 3 in a blue, 4, a merfolk wizard. Mythic. Very cool. Merfolk and wizard together? What could possibly go wrong? Nothing. Protection from red. That's kind of random. Why would he? I guess protection from red because flavor-wise he's in the sea, master of the sea. Anyway, elemental creatures you control get 1 plus. Wait, what? Elemental creatures get 1 plus 1. He's a merfolk. Well, I guess that's really cool. It really fits the flavor because it seems like he's making these elementals. Very, very cool. Out of the ocean. And then whenever he enters the battlefield, put a number of 1 zeros, blue elemental creatures, onto the battlefield equal to your devotion to blue. And then each blue and mana cost of permanence. We know how that works. So he's pretty good. At a 2-1, it's a bit difficult because he's tiny, so fairly easy to get rid of, but at least Burn can't get rid of him, which is a big deal because Burn often has the easy, 1 or 2 damage spells or abilities, and it's not going to work off of him. Very cool. Making 1 zeros and then having them die when he dies is very, very flavorful. Obviously, it wouldn't work if you have 2 Master of Waves in play or whatever to protect the elementals, but having them as 1 zeros instead of 0 1s, I'm a huge fan of that. It just fits. When he dies, all the waves crash down, which is awesome. Is he constructed viable? I think he can be, especially in the set where they're really pushing monocolor, because if you land, Thassa was 3, right? So you could do a couple of scries or smaller drops, especially we had that 2-cost merfolk, don't forget that card, 2 blue, that you land, and then you land Thassa, and then you land him. That's pretty insane. And I'm sure that he definitely has constructed viability. He's pretty cool. Limited wise, obviously, he basically wins you the game if you focus around mono blue, because once he lands turn 4 or 5, chances are you get a bunch of 2-1s, and next turn you swing in and win. Very, very powerful, very cool mythic. I really like the flavor reeking off this guy. And this is what I mean when I talk about mythics, and I want them to at least be, either bombastic, epic, flavorful, that they're epic enough that it warrants them being mythic. I think he kind of fits that category, even with the smaller cost, just because of how cool his flavor is. And then we have Pyxis of Pandemonium, otherwise known as Pandora's Box. Guys, we have Pandora's Box in the set. How awesome is that? Yes, I mean, it's not very good, but, it's Pandora's Box. So, Pyxis of Pandemonium, i.e. Pandora's Box. 1 colorless for an artifact. Tap it, each player exiles the top card of his or her library face down. 7 tap, sacrifice it. Each player returns all face-up cards. He or she owns exile with it and puts all permanent cards into the battlefield. So this will probably be fun for EDH, especially for decks that run very, very heavy on the permanents and less on the spells. Because I know my own Thraxamunder deck uses lots of spells, and if a card like this was done, I'd maybe get 1 or 2 cards out of, let's say 7 by the time you get up there. But other decks could potentially get a heck of a lot more. And because it's each player, it could be a lot of fun, fun casual multiplayer EDH. That's pretty much why it's there. It's not going to be, definitely not going to be constructed viable, and likely won't do much either in limited. So it's there for flavor and for multiplayer EDH. Fun. And then Night Howler, which is pretty decent art. Some of the promo art's been good so far, and this one's no exception. I really like how it's kind of Nyx feeling, even though it's not, because it's Night Howler. So very cool. And it's an enchantment horror, 0/0, for Bestow, which is really good because it's too many of the Bestow's costs are way above the regular mana cost, which makes it, not quite worth it. But here you have Bestow only slightly more, and Night Howler and Enchanted Creature get X plus X, where X is the number of creature cards in all graveyards. Obviously, they had to say all because they have so much creature hate going on, or rather, so much graveyard hate going on. Thank you, Snapcaster. And so by doing such, this card is maybe not quite as good, but in limited, obviously, it's going to be an awesome bomb, and in constructed, I just don't think it's quite there. But it does have it is a decent card, and I really like how even if you bestow it for 4, then it's fine. If you play for 3, it's fine. So it works either way. And yeah, pretty cool cards. So Master Wave's definitely my favorite of these 3, but they're not terrible at all. The other 2 are not terrible. So let me know your thoughts below about these 3 spoilers in the comments section as well. Check out my channel sponsors in the description of the video. And as always, Roxabox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.